Welcome to another episode of Cash Convos with Laideen. I am so happy that you've tuned in today because I get to speak with the fabulous Azhia Julien. I'm so happy that she's here with us today.
Hello, thanks.
We're in her amazing space. This is Stager Extraordinaire. She's an entrepreneur, single mom doing it. She just goes after what she wants, and I'm so happy to have her here with us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm so happy. So this space is like phenomenal. Tell us a little bit about it.
Thank you. So this is a 2-bedroom condo loft. It's located here in the Beaches. We're listed at 1.7 million. It's been on the market for a little bit. It was vacant, wasn't staged.
Yeah.
So we just got it staged, photographed. So we're hoping that
Yeah,
we're hoping to get some more buyers in and get it sold ASAP.
Yeah, ASAP. It's such a hot market. So I'm sure that with the staging, because it's absolutely fabulous, I'm sure that now, we'll see it just fly off the rack. Is that what you say?
Yeah,
in real
for
estate?
sure. Yeah, no, for sure. Sometimes it's hard for buyers to come in and imagine what they can do with the space. So staging really, really helps.
Yeah.
So we decided to get it staged, and we know it'll get sold.
It'll get done. Okay. And so the reason why I brought you on, okay, is because a lot of times, I have you as a client, but I have a lot of clients that are similar to you as well, or just people out there in general, and like they are maybe single parents or they've had children, and maybe there's a stigma out there, or I've been a single parent myself, so I know that sometimes there's a stigma that maybe being financially savvy is not a thing, or not being able to really push through and achieve your dreams and be that entrepreneur, be that go-getter, because most people will think that, there's something holding you back.
Yeah.
But that's just not the case. And that's why I thought it was so important to have you come on so that we could really just talk to the audience, talk to the rest of my clients as well, to kind of just share your story and just see, how did you get into doing what you do? How have you been able to do that with a little one? Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Okay. Well, I was a single mom, you know that.
Yeah.
And it was rough. It was a really tough beginning for me, but I've always been really ambitious. I've always been ambitious. I've always wanted a good life for me and my family, my future family, my daughter. So that's always kind of driven me. So when I first had her, obviously I wasn't actually, this goes even before that, because before she was born, I had 2 jobs. Up until I was 8 months.
Wow.
I was working at a call center in the night, overnight, 12 to 7 a.m. I'd go home, I'd sleep, and then I'd go waitress at Moxie's.
Wow.
So here I am with my big belly, with my tray in my hand. Hi, how can I help you? But I made a lot of money. I made a lot of tips.
Yeah,
The pregnant girl. But yeah, so I've always worked really hard. Like since I was 16, I've always had like 2 jobs while in school. So that never stopped.
Wow.
I think that hard work and that ambition really carried me through till today.
Yeah.
So after I had her, I got my real estate license.
Awesome.
And then I realized it wasn't all it's cracked up to be. You're not just going to start selling houses and making commissions. So I found full-time work with a realtor who was doing well. And he took me on, and I was just his assistant. And then after that, I went to school. I actually have my degree in law enforcement and criminology.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know. But after I graduated, got my degree, I needed work now. I needed to support my daughter. OSAP was done. So I needed some income.
Yeah.
So I went back to what I knew, which was real estate. I found full-time work for one of the top producing teams as a listing coordinator.
Awesome.
And then I just saw an opportunity. One day our stager went on vacation, and we had a property that needed to get staged. Like my boss stages everything. So I just went out, I bought some furniture, put it in the house, and he's like, okay, this looks okay. And it worked out, and I've been staging for our team ever since then.
Oh my gosh. And I love that. And this is why, guys, I have her on here, because I said, a lot of times people are holding back based on thinking, oh, I don't have the experience, or I don't have the training, or I don't have the education, or all of these things, which really, they actually are excuses. But I just say, this is an example here of just go into something that you're passionate about, something that you love, and you can turn that into your own business, right?
Yeah, it's true. Because like even like the earlier YouTubers, like they never went on YouTube with like a business plan and I need to do this and I need to do these charts and they just kind of just went on YouTube and then just started making tons of money.
Right.
So a business plan is good. Like a strategic planning is great, but sometimes you just have to
gotta take the leap.
Take the leap of faith. If there's an opportunity, just go in and take. Like I am not an interior designer, like in my background by any means.
Exactly.
But as I went along, you know, I studied a lot. I was looking through a lot of magazines, Instagram, and I just got a lot of inspiration. I would really, for the first while, even till now, just like mimic something I seen that I liked. And I'm like, okay, I would go out and buy a bunch of stuff that looked exactly like the look I wanted to achieve. And
just went from there. So it's just basically taking inspiration from all other things that you like and just kind of putting it together and creating your own vision, which I just love. I love that. And you've been able to do like, you know, create a successful business as a result of that, which is like really the goal, right?
Exactly.
So I know that we've come a long way. We've been, like, I met you at church and then you became my client, and we've always been having these financial conversations, which I was like, you know what? Hey, we need to actually tape these combos, right? So we're having these conversations, and you always wanted to get into real estate in terms of being a homeowner yourself, or actually, you know, being maybe having rental properties or whatnot. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so as I was saying before, I've been around real estate for a long time, you know, since I was like about 19, 18, 19. So I was always in the atmosphere, like I was always hearing conversations about real estate investment, buying real estate, selling real estate. So it was always something I was aware of. And, you know, when I realized that it could produce generational wealth and how you can build equity and pass something down to your children, like that really intrigued me. As an entrepreneur, I was like, you know, how am I going to be able to set up my children?
Right.
And I found that real estate was the answer. So my goal from day one, no matter what business I was going to start, no matter where I was going to work, my plan was to buy real estate.
Right.
So, yeah.
And so you finally made that dream come true.
I did.
Yeah, which is awesome. Like, and big, huge round of applause.
Thank you.
So what would you say to somebody who feels that, like, you know, it's not in the cards for them, or they don't feel like, how would they be able to do it, like maybe as a single parent or having a child, and you know, like, let's be honest, like your daughter is 8, right? And I'm a mother of 4 myself, so I know running a business and, you know, all that comes along with that, and raising a child is very difficult. So what would you say about someone who wants to go in, you know, get real estate or enter the market, this tough market that we're in?
It's tough.
It's tough. What kind of tips would you say, how to kind of overcome, you know, the challenges that might be there?
Like I was saying before, I started off by being in the atmosphere, being around people.
Yeah.
Where I was working in the office, it was all men. All men in their 40s, but all they talked about was business. All they talked about was real estate and clients and commission and everything real estate. So I was in that environment. I think it's so important that we get around people, you know, who are like-minded, or they already are where you want to be.
Exactly.
Read books, you know, follow inspirational pages. Like I'm really into that, like self-help books, stuff like that. Like just put yourself in an atmosphere. Yeah,
you need to cultivate
it starts with your mindset. It starts with your mindset.
I say that all the time, and like I actually like to have other people say it, because it's like, I'm not just saying it, guys. Like, it really is the truth.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's the real thing. It's the real deal. Like, this is how you move ahead. This is how you get further. Even what you're saying with, you know, surrounding yourself or being around people who've already done it. That's like a mentorship type situation, right? And
exactly.
I stress how important it is to have a mentor how important it is to have someone who's already done it be there to guide you through it. So you're
Exactly.
touching right on all of those
Exactly.
points. So I love it. I love it so much, right? And then I guess too, you have that driving force. Like me being a mom too, you have that driving force of you know what you want to provide for your child,
Exactly.
right? You want to create that legacy. You want to know, hey, where, I want to know that you've done that great job for her, and she can look back and feel inspired to do whatever it is that she wants to do because her mom did it, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's awesome. So yeah, so I love this. I love sitting here. I love talking to you about all of this stuff. Do you have any other tips that you would say to anybody who might be struggling with, anything financial or just getting themselves to the end goal? Like they might be in a place maybe in the startup phase of where you were maybe, let's say, 10 years ago or 5 or 10 years ago. What would you want to say to that self back then to get you to where you are today?
Well, I guess I would say, like, I'm not a counselor. I don't have all the answers, but I would say what I say to my friends and people around me. And it's just start. Just start. Start where you're at. Start where you can. If it's school, apply. Apply to school. Like you don't have to walk backwards to fall behind. You can just stay in the same place for 5 years. And then by the time that 5-year period comes, you are behind. Just because you didn't do anything. So just start, go to school, apply for the jobs, get the courses, get the degree that you need, get business ideas going. Like, it's so important to just start.
Just do something. I love that. Like, honestly, we're closing off on this, and that is like the most perfect advice, because a lot of times it's that step that you got to take. You just got to take it. But
it's the fear. Like, a lot of people are really actually afraid.
It is.
And like, even like my aunt, she purchased real estate many years ago, and she did very well. She did very well, but she was so afraid. But now that she thinks back on it, she's so glad she made this step. Because even as a single parent, like getting a mortgage on your own, plus you're an entrepreneur, there's no promise of an income, right?
Yeah, it's scary.
It can be scary, but if you don't start, to me, that's even scarier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not making the step is even scarier.
It is. And I think fear, and it's great that you touched on it, but fear is like a universal thing. Like everyone feels afraid, right? Like a lot of times people feel that if they're feeling fear, then they're different from everybody else. No, everybody feels fear. It's just going forward with it anyways, right? Just going forward with that feeling and just knowing, having that faith that it will all work out, right? Yeah, so this has been awesome, Azhia. Thank you so much for sitting down with me. I love these Cash Convos with Laideen because I get to put the conversations that we have out there to everybody else, and we never know who might be struggling or might need to hear a word that's similar to what they're going through. So the intention and the goal is to help people at the end of the day.